All right, all right, all right. Still haven't downloaded chatbot, but that's okay. Xion is the best. So I'm saying I'm sticking to it. Let's do this, yo. I'm excited. What was I doing? Where am I even at? Okay, okay. Oh, that's right. I went and I killed that stupid that giant Zool. That's still there. Like, does that respawn?
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Well, I guess not.
There.
All right, let's just jump right into it. Yeah. What's this? That was interesting.
Oh, just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head to...
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Dahnan disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Oh, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
What about where we got
Mind if we take a look at
Shione's
them?
outfit from?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I gotta turn subtitles back on.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor, but there's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
Blazing sword.
All right.
I guess...
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
No, I do need to go in here, go into settings, and I turn titles. Just because when I'm streaming, I don't like using headphones, so I have to keep my speaker volume kind of low so that like the microphone doesn't pick it up. I I feel like I've fixed that for the most part, so it shouldn't matter too much, but I still tend to keep the volume of the speakers low, and it does make it a little hard to hear sometimes, especially when like music swells and is really loud.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cyslodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Danon owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby.
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels! Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile!
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Why is Kisara looking like that?
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
Okay. Wait, where am I going? I'm going... At least going this way, I'm going to pretty much stomp all of the
We made it here
enemies.
in one piece.
Farming, I think I would be doing a lot more of the ranching if
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancia's.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
like if I fight this thing, it's gonna be like super easy. Like level 9.
Gotta break through!
Radiant Pierce!
Orochi's Fury!
I kind of forgot I was using Kisara.
We'll win.
5 XP. I would hate this area. Look at this nonsense. But that's the thing though, like in a winter area like Cyslodia, to combat the snow, all you need is some sunlight, right? And eventually, like the snow, might, a lot of it might melt away. But like fire, like look at all that lava. That's always going to be like super hot.
Are you just going to keep standing around or what?
Sorry, I'm just getting prepped over here.
Can't help it, Shione. I need more screenshots of her. Enough messing around.
Feel odd here. Be on your guard.
But
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
Seriously, Alphen, how could you not do that? I don't even remember this place. Like, I remember running through here, but I don't remember anything else besides that. This must have been a fight right here, because it's a bigger room. Oh, let's try this. Oh, there's Zoogles down here?
Out of our way! Vanquish darkness!
Turbo Demon Fang!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
I must not have explored this area very well when I first was here. And those two Zoogles, I wonder if those were always there. Like, I wonder if they respawned or if I ran past them.
An opponent like this should be easy.
A comfortable win.
Well, okay then. All right, let's go. Actually, go where we're supposed to go.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
What? I feel like this area must not have been accessible or something. Because this game has a lot of areas like that where it's like you go there at the beginning of the game, but it's not accessible.
Ugh, so hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
Probably don't need that. That seems pretty good, actually. Might have to do some of these air attacks as well.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me.
Sighted. I'm only getting started. Here goes. Let's give it a whirl. Up and out. It's a duel down. Now, by the power. Alphen, this ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Pathetic.
Pesky airborne scout.
This sounds like a job for yours truly.
An Astro Art?
That's my cue. By the power of water.
Shut him down.
Gemini Aqua. Looks confiscated. By the power of
You've got pretty impressive aim there.
Thought of taking up the rifle yourself?
No, this is more my style.
One more. Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. Raging storm. Gemini Aqua. Alphen, this ends now.
Consider yourself
Okay. I mean, I accept.
We can really make weapons with this?
Little help. Gemini Aqua. Here goes. No more playing nice. The bigger they are, the harder. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. You're open. And a raging storm. This one's yours. Here's a healing arc. First aid. Here's a healing arc. Here's first aid. By the power of water. Get toasty.
Bird strike!
Now, here you go. Gemini Aqua.
Swallow
By
blade!
the power. Here's a healing arc. First aid. Here, let me help. First aid. Coming through.
Not today!
Gemini Aqua. By the power of water.
Rising
Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. Make it rain. Gemini Aqua.
No,
Go for it.
I don't know if that water attack actually
Think we overdid it?
hits the other ones.
Not by a long shot. By the power of water. Tiger blade. By the power of water. Gemini Aqua. Look sharp.
Here I come!
By the power of water. The waters of magic is over.
Explosive ring!
No, wait. Here's a healing arc. First aid. Make it rain. Ridwell, astral energy. Full throttle. Go.
Well, looky here.
Hey, new equipment!
That equipment? What is? Okay. I'm running. Oh no, it's a cutscene. If I made it in time. Nope. I'll just use 2 of them.
Remind me to stay on your
Here,
good
let me
side.
help. First aid! Raging power! Celestial Gemini Aqua!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Gale Force! Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Denied.
Gemini
What?
Aqua! By the power of water! Gemini Aqua! By the power of water! Gemini Aqua!
This one's mine.
You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, I'll come help out.
How could a girl ever say no? As impressive as always.
Here, I hope that was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Will this help?
Damn! You're all a freezing storm.
I'll be saving this one.
This one's mine. Tiger blade.
More with the
Now, Law, get toasty.
Burn strike!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much.
Oh, I see him. No. I run out of happy bottles. Worth. Should be worth.
Our way. Gemini Aqua! Where are you going? Hurricane by the power of water! Gemini Aqua! By the power of water! Let the marksman handle this.
Take this!
Make it right! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory. 1,000 gales carry it as naturally.
Rising Wyvern!
This one's mine. By the power of water.
See those two little that jet out to the sides? I don't know if
Paid off.
those actually hit the enemy or not.
That's far enough.
Where are you going? Hurricane Burn! By the power of water!
Look sharp.
Gemini Aqua!
Take cover when it calls out. Make it rain.
Midwell! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory. Going in.
All back in their defenses!
Sleep glad you have your uses.
Make it show you how useful I get.
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
My face is starting to sting, and my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Xion?
Oh wait, I bet you're hungry. I hate.
Oh, wait. I bet you're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Hi, Hoodle! A freezing storm! Here goes! Oh, ice tornado! Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Are those rocks and skid?
Here, let me help! In here, the plastic
Not
parts
today.
are weak.
It's almost too strong. Then I'll split it open.
Be my guest.
I'll smash you.
Here's a healing arc!
Rising Wyvern!
First
Finish
aid!
it!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Alphen would be like the most useless here with all of his fire stuff.
Material when I see it.
So I really dislike that when you get a mining spot like that your gauge continues to go down. Nope. They're always just out of the way.
A freezing storm! Let's go!
curls up. Time to get out of the way. Let me help, blind freak. And just like that, I'm back in it.
Oh,
Can you
stop
take
it,
care of
stop.
them?
No sooner said than done.
You've got pretty impressive aim there. Thought of taking up the...
No complaints here.
Tidal wave!
Look sharp.
Plenty left!
One more.
Hold on to your art. Here I'm only getting started. Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Now! Firmament surrender! Look sharp!
Coming through.
Oh, that scared me.
Now. Scarlet Inferno.
Gemini Aqua! By the power of water!
Demon Fang.
Here I now! Astral energy! Full throttle!
I love Rindel's pose though.
Pretty impressive.
Thanks. You're full of surprises yourself.
I went this way, I went up, around, down, this way, down. So this is just gonna give me access to the entrance, right? Yeah, I wish the combo, the fighting combo bonus chain thingamathing, I wish that would, I wish that didn't deplete so fast.
Hi, Hoodle! By the power of water! In here! Gemini Aqua! Over the stockpile! By the power of water! You have to aim for the bright area on their back! I never miss! By the power! Let me help!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
First aid! Here's a healing art! First aid!
I owe you, Keon.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. We'll soon see about that. You are in. Top state.
As soon as I'm done here,
Coming
come help
through!
out.
How could a girl ever say no?
As impressive as always.
Here I hope there wasn't proof.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
You're open! Pulse it! Wind astral energy! By the power of water! Raging cascade!
Demon Fang.
Tail! More for the stop! By the power of water! Miasma! Vanquish darkness! Glacier! I'm out of ammo! Divine Free! Power of water! Make it rain! Law! Get toasty!
Burn strike.
Stop using fire attacks.
Over so soon?
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
I've only been streaming for 35 minutes right now.
This will be a delicious piece of cake! By the power of water! Wait, no! May 1,000 years carry you to shreds! Gemini Aqua!
Not today.
Now for some... By the power of water! The flames will roar! By the... Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble. Think we overdid it? Not by a long shot.
First aid! Vanquish darkness! By the power of...
Here, let me help.
First aid! Gemini Aqua!
Look sharp. One
A
more.
freezing storm! Now! Tornado! Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Nope. No, not what I meant to do. But it seems this is the way I need to go anyways.
Right, here
Here we
goes.
go. I never fit. Primed and ready. Not in your dreams.
You're mine.
Here I go. Wind Gemini Aqua. By the power I never fit. Now, Long, get toasty.
Burn strike.
You're open. Sleep now. I'll be saving this one. Gemini Aqua.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that wasn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Shion actually look flustered.
Gemini Aqua. Gale Force. Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. Going in. Arc Shield.
Oh,
Swallow Flight. Look sharp. Don't mind if I do. Let the marksman handle this. Whoa, hey! Going in.
Be still.
Sleep now. By the power of here, let me help takes away. First aid. Make it rain.
what is this? Oh, I kind of forgot about skill stuff.
I'm in good form. I'll crush any enemy with my mace.
Awesome. We've got an avatar of destruction here.
Truly, she leaves naught but rubble in her wake.
Are you guys asking to be her next target?
Is every shield you own that big?
Here, you want to try holding it?
Ugh. How do you even walk with this thing?
Oh, he could. Oh,
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
oh, I didn't even see that.
Get lost. Gemini Aqua. By the power.
Ignite.
Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. Gemini Aqua. A freezing storm. The flashing part's their weak point. Ice tornado. Going in. Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. Gemini Aqua. A freezing storm. Supernova. Ice tornado. Now. Redwell. Astral energy. Full throttle.
My fists are crushing it out there.
Let's dispose of the trash. Go! Get behind me! Not in your dreams! By the power of water! Gemini Aqua! I never fit! Here I go! There with the others! Gemini Aqua!
Flame inside me yearns to be
Gale
let
Force!
free.
Up and at 'em! Let's go! Gemini Aqua!
Going in.
It's by the power of freezing storm! Ice tornado! Here's the Gemini Aqua! By the power of water!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up till it's over.
Look up. Who said anything about letting? Oh, I think the enemy's getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't tip your hand, though.
As impressive as always. Here
Here I
let me
hope
help
that was
you.
improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Shion actually look flustered.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet and
So it's it's times like that where they say something and they always say it over and over that people don't seem to like that too much. They like tolerate it in Japanese because they don't know what they're saying.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Not on my watch. There. How's this? You're mine. By the power of water. I'll heal you all. How about this? Now, healing circle. Look sharp. Purge malevolence.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Sleep now.
Right.
By the power of water. Gemini, where are you going? By the power of water. Gemini, radiant here. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
I won't forgive you. Confiscated. Far enough. Supernova.
Demon Fang!
Now, take this. Get on here. Radiant pierce. Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. This surrounding Gemini primed and ready.
This one's mine!
Gemini Aqua. By the power of sleep now. Gemini Aqua. By the Dueling. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
No defense. Sealed. By the power of water. More where that came from. Here, let me help.
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword and with my thorns.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
But it's like
Good to know my training is paying off.
it's like people don't know what it's like when people are like fighting. Like it's pretty loud, especially if it's like a team thing like this.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try any... Out of my way!
Gemini Aqua. Denied. Here I go. Will this help? A freezing storm. Take this. Ice tornado. Tiger blade. Glaciers crush all. Radiant strike. Glaciers crush all. Here to make it rain. Alpha. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Now.
Swallow blade!
Glaciers crush all. I'm out of ammo. Got you. Back into the fray. This one's mine. Here, let me help. This one's mine.
Here I go!
There. Gemini Aqua. By the power of water. Seal. I'll be saving this by the power of... Here, let me help. First aid. Here's a healing art. Radiant aid. Radiant arm.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Very well. Astral energy. Full throttle. Flawless victory. Naturally. Now, hurricane foot.
Looks like we came out on top.
We just need to make sure we stay there.
Right. And without totally overdoing it.
That's far enough!
Gemini Aqua. In your dreams. This one's mine. Tempest Whirl. More hurricane. Thunder Seal. A freezing storm. I go for the weak point. One more hard to the level, magic and water. In here. Get on in there with the others. I never fit. Thunder field. By the power of water. Pathetic. They're all coming after me.
I'm coming, Rinwell.
I'm not scared. I'm totally fine.
Denied. Let's get you all up to win. It's over. There you go. Don't let up. Make it rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Ooh. I see 70 hits.
Don't get complacent.
Two of these is not gonna be.
I won't forget you. Hurricane blade, not in your dreams. Where are you going? The flames will roar. Burning strike. Here's a healing art. In here. Aim for the weak point. Here, let me help. Raise your birthday. Here's a healing art.
Time to let it rip. I'll burn it all.
Often, they're literally walking lava.
Fire! Orochi's fury!
Here I go. Keep going. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble. You were practically a blur. Together with your marksmanship, we make quite the team.
Back this way. I kind of should. That's my bonus gauge out. Done.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
You've got to be kidding me. So you could have just did that if you just wanted to like avoid all the fights, I guess. Alright, so this is most likely going to be a boss fight, so we'll save it. I'm gonna go pee real quick, and then I'll come back and do this boss fight. Okay, I'm back. So we need to go right here. And boost. Wait, did I save it? I don't know if I saved it. Oh. The big one this time, I guess.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go!
This looks like the Ruby weapon from Final Fantasy XIV. Like, its body and head shape are pretty similar.
But we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Oh my god.
There! Gemini, here, let me help. First aid! Here's a healing art. First aid! Here, let me help. Going in.
You stupid thing.
Healing art. First aid!
Swallow blade!
Can't see anything.
Let the marksman handle this.
In here.
Rinwell,
It's nothing. I'm alright.
let me help. First aid! Here's a healing art. First aid! Gemini Aqua! A freezing storm!
Wind astral energy.
Ice tornado!
Here I come!
Here, let me help. First aid! Here's a healing art. First aid! Here,
I'll stop
let me
its
help.
charge!
Thanks.
Far enough! Here I go.
Ignite!
Help! Raging storm! I never miss.
Take it!
Gemini Aqua! Hurricane
Severing wind!
Gemini Aqua!
Soaring light spear!
There,
You're
go.
on!
Falling storm! Here's the Purge Malevolent! Magic
Demon
is
Blade!
in here! Now! Get on in there with the others! Crush all! Wind astral energy! Glacier! Crush all! Here's a healing art! First aid! Here, let me help! First aid!
Here I go!
Here, let me help! First aid! Quick now! Gemini Aqua! By the power of
Megasonic
Hurricane Gemini Aqua!
My camera.
My head's spinning just watching you!
This game does have camera issues though.
Healing art! No, it won't end like this.
Don't leave me all alone here.
Like this fight has a weird focus. I feel like it's trying to focus on
I can't lose.
Shield
Let's get you all kept away. By the power of water, I'll heal you all. Healing field.
Now where was I? This one's mine!
like I can't.
Make it rain!
Lost. Get toasty.
Burn strike!
You're open.
Ignite!
Oops.
By the power of water.
overcome more.
We'll just have to keep fighting.
Take this! Confiscated! Our experts coming through! Thunder field!
Ignite!
Where are you going? I'm ready! Alright!
Finish it!
By the power of water! They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Ray.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Pathetic! Don't get in my way! I'm only getting started!
I'm ready to go.
I'll heal you all! In here! I'll be healing circle! Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too. Think again! Tiger blade! Banana, let's go! Think again! Here's a healing arc! In here now! Kizara, go for it!
I kind of still don't like that Renosa's blah blah blah.
First aid! Will this help? Healing circle!
Reinforcements incoming.
Not a problem. Not in your dreams. Do it again.
I'm nearly done for.
Gemini Aqua!
Storm!
By the power of water!
Demon
Here, let me help. First aid! Here's a healing arc.
Blade!
Crazy! Not on my watch! Our expert coming through! First aid! Here, let me help. First aid! Here's a healing arc. First aid! Here's a healing arc. First aid! If I do. Arc sealed! Radiant pierce! Radiant pierce! Now! Where are you going?
Oh. Oh god. Oh god.
No defense! Sleep now! No defense! Can't be happening!
Stay away from
That is such a stupid attack. Okay, life bottle.
I can't. Not in your dreams! There! Here it goes! Alright! Here, let me help! First aid! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Here, let me help! Let me first aid! Radiant pierce! Radiant pierce! Back into the fray! Take that! Sleep now! Not in your dreams! Firmament render! Glacier! Arrow squall! Arc seal! Here I go! Not so much now! You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both. Sleep now. Don't mind if I do. Sighted. I'm only getting started. Radiant storm! A banana, let's go! By the power of water! Make it rain! Ridwell! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! A flawless victory. Naturally.
You picked the wrong fight.
Tiger blade! Radiant pierce! And again!
Finish it!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Man, you're open! Can you again? Confiscated! Go in! One at a time! I'm on it! Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Do it!
Will this help? It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Ooh.
I owe you, Shion. Healing is what my art's... Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe. Thanks so much!
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it. Just
Alvin!
watch and learn.
Oh my god.
Go back down!
Is that how? Does that seriously? I feel like giant creatures like that in any sort of like video games or movies are never
Everyone okay?
properly represented, I feel.
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or It may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
What is this? Allows the flaming edge to be charged in exchange for greater damage dealt. Aerial attack? That's 2,000. I feel like with Rinwell, I'm kind of just getting useful skills and not necessarily completion bonus stuff. Increased art casting time during comp. Oh, this one's a plus 50. Probably get this one. Dueling attack plus 60. Oh, the most expensive one first. Allah. Attack maybe.
With this, I can become even stronger.
Secret door in Calaglia. That's similar to what we fought at the top of the tower. It was that huge thing, but it was surrounded, like it kept summoning level 60 creatures.
Hey, is that it over there?
Dude, what do you do? Ooh. Okay, so everybody except I really like this Blackthorn one though. Like that really goes with her outfit. Light slash dark damage minus 10%. Elemental attack plus 60. Got a lot of these awakening things. These Brimors, I really need to find out where to gather those. Same with Astral Ores. Because like elemental attack probably will get used really, like would be really good for obviously Rinwell and Shione. Physical attack would probably be really good with like yeah, see, because basically right now Rinwell has a magic emblem and all it does is plus 15% and then plus 20. Does she even use fire damage? Yeah, so like wind damage plus 15% would probably be pretty.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Yeah, so oh my god, 1,000. So Shione has she has a higher elemental attack than a normal attack, but it's only by like 100. So she's really kind of like a not a jack of all trades, but she doesn't like do just one really high. Whereas Rinwell obviously is going to have a really high elemental attack. I don't think she even has normal attack stuff. Sara has really high defense. Like Dohalim, I feel Shione and Dohalim are supposed to be like interchangeable in the sense that he doesn't have high attack or elemental attack. They're pretty even. But he has healing arts, so it's like you just pick one or the other, I guess. And then Law just has really high attack. Is there gonna be another boss right here?
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
This is actually like a really big ship for just one person.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken. This is no picnic for me, either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Shion?
How do they fall asleep just sitting like that? What, is she gonna try to take the ship?
Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own?
Right there. Why did they disband the party just to have me walk like 2 feet?
Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time
was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait, the whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
What was the plan? And I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alvin?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Kisara's outfit is really, really low cut in the back.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
Maybe they were
As for
made.
that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Yeah, that little scene we just had with Shione, it really kind of made me want to play Final Fantasy X. How low cut that back is. And I swear in the cutscene it was even lower.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Oops.
I need something to eat.
Oh, is this a fishing spot or something? Wait, where's Shione at? She's way up here.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before.
It just, took
An even better one now.
everybody basically forcing her to not go for her to open
I
up.
want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives.
Hoodle, please.
I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey.
Shione is on screen. My screenshot finger is ready. Good job.
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadeye, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the Blazing Sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renins, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
You? Experience boost. I think experience boost is the thing I need most. Is this gonna be like the second part? Am I gonna unlock another opening or something?
Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
Ooh.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Oh, they're just making her embarrassed. Okay. What did I get? Fruit sandwich? Yeah. It reduces the effect by 20% but boosts the duration. So it takes a half hour. No, 22 minutes is pretty good.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't
Friends.
considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as Lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly, I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
That was a fool.
Amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. We'd best get ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
Shall we get moving?
I feel like there's gonna be a cutscene right here, so I'm gonna go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let's see what this has in store for us. Oh, I need to... That one I kind of... The Noble Rose looks so good. I don't know about that. What's up? All right. Let's see. Everything's good. Let's see what happens here. I'm really curious.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
I saw some people complaining about Alphen's voice actor. Like, I'm not understanding what they're complaining about. What happened to all the grass that was on it?
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there.
This is...
It'll be all right with
It's still a huge ship that, like...
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Disbanded again? Why?
Hey, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
I do actually like the sword that Alphen's using right now. Like, it seems to fit really well with the flame sword. Let's talk to Shione first because she's the favorite. She's my favorite.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain.
Shione,
I
please.
thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Alphen, please.
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to
It's a little bit
justify slavery.
too dramatic for me.
We're just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
That's so hilarious, censorship. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Like, because this game is a Tales game, so it's always going to be compared to the other Tales games, right? And so I'm not done with this game yet, and the only other one I've played was Berseria, but in Berseria, like, every character had their own arcs after joining up with your team, right? And it was pretty fleshed out. So far in this one though, like Dohalim and Kisara, they had their thing in Menancia, but ever since then, not so much. Law had the thing with his dad, but he's really not had anything else besides that since then. Rinwell had Almadria, but really nothing else since that then either. And it feels like this game is really just focusing on Alphen and Shione, and I hope that doesn't stay the case. Talk to Dohalim. Yes, I think. What level am I? 43. What are you two talking about?
Listen to this. So Law and I were just talking, and
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
So Law definitely has a point there. It doesn't seem like he's afraid of flying. He's afraid that this ship is so old. What is this? That this ship is so old that it's not going to last. Up Kisara.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that'd mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
It's like, what? He says that, but like, she wasn't thanking you for freeing everybody in the world. She was thanking you for helping her find out what she wanted, what she wanted. Alright, let's talk to Dohalim and see what happens.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever.
How does he know that he's the one that killed them?
There's no changing that.
They never showed that.
Future's what we make it.
They just...
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Lenegis and the planet really looked like they were a lot closer when you were standing on the world. I actually don't know what the world is called.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the
I have my mic mute because
chances are she's also connected to the
I'm eating
Renis
chips.
Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this Red Woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
probably
There's an area
outside
of
the hangar.
city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman.
I am curious
Hiding
about
something
the
of
Red
that worth
Woman
in the residential quarters would only court
because she
trouble.
hasn't.
In
She's
which case,
not said anything, so you don't know what she's doing
Stands
or what
to
she's
reason we
planning,
should be looking somewhere normally
what her
on
motives
Mars.
are, or anything like
Is that
that.
right?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
There's gonna be a bunch of Zoogles up here, since there's Zoogles everywhere.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. A capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zoogles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Oh, did he just say Zoogles? I wasn't completely paying attention. Wait. I can't fast travel. That's that. Oh, I knew that. Okay. I want to see it. Probably gonna end stream in like 5 minutes or something, but I want to see what's gonna happen here. What? They were attacked? I take it? Or they just never fixed it from when Alpha was there? I'm so confused. Like this is not what I was expecting.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Oh.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I mean,
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter.
yeah.
Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
Ooh.
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back?
This is really interesting, actually.
For you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
Because I was really interested to learn more about Dohalim's past. That
So who's Faria?
her.
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
And it's
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
interesting. So,
The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
what was I gonna say? I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, because Dohalim, like, you see his past, and you see why he did what he does. But there's not really it never really kind of like dove into it that much. You know what I mean? So just like the mention of it was interesting, and then that whole conversation was pretty interesting. So yeah.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. You don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Like, this is a pretty good spot to stop. I'll finish these skits. One thing about JRPGs is they have a lot of dialogue, and in this game, you can't. At least as far as I can tell, you can't turn off auto scroll for the or auto progress or whatever for the dialogue. And in a way that's good, because it speeds it up. But sometimes, especially when you're streaming, sometimes you want to talk. But since auto is always on, you can't really do that because it continues,
So,
and you'd be
I've been
talking
wondering,
over
Do you think when Lenegis was
the
built,
dialogue.
it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
So I'm wondering what it would be like if just your normal everyday stuff, right? And like in real life, everything you normally do normally and then all of a sudden, like, everything shifts. Like, wherever you're living, everything shifts. Like, how much would it have shifted here? Like, if somebody's home was right here and then everything shifted, like, where did it end up at? Like, did it go miles away? And how many people died? Because if something that big shifted and you could see it, it had to have been moving pretty fast, right? But whatever, I'm done. It was a little bit shorter of a stream today, but I have some stuff I have to go do. And I should have started streaming earlier, but it's whatever, it's okay. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday. I should be back tomorrow to do more quests, more questing. And yeah, hopefully I wake up a bit earlier. I kind of slept in today. Hopefully I wake up earlier tomorrow so that I can stream earlier. And that's it for me. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and laters.